Hi again, my name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller, and today I'm going to be doing a what sold for the beginning of last week. I'm going to be doing two. This first one will be from August 16th through August 19th. That's Monday through Thursday. And then later this week I will do Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's been a good week. It's been a good week, so there's no complaints here. I'm going to be showing you some of the sales that I had from eBay, Facebook, and then I actually had two during that time period for Bonanza. I just recently did turn it back on. I'm considering Mercari and Etsy as we're getting back into towards the fourth quarter. I haven't decided. My time is so stretched right now as far as just trying to get things done. So if you're new to my channel, I have been selling on eBay for 22 years. Pretty much full-time most of it. It is our primary income probably the last 8 to 10 years. My husband, we were selling on Amazon for a while, and we decided to focus on eBay. It was just less of a time suck because I did not like Amazon at all. We were doing replenishables, and it was just a lot of time shopping and packaging and getting your shipments out, and it was just pulling time from eBay, which I thought could be better spent working on my listings and stuff and sourcing. And so he has spent the last year or so really learning how I source, what I like to source, and then he's been adding to the things that I hadn't ever considered sourcing before. So it's been great. It's been great. So let me get into some of the things that I did buy. Now primarily my first love is stuffed animals, specifically vintage, but I do buy all kinds. It's just if it catches my eye, certain brands, characters. It's just, 22 years of experience and knowing, I guess, my niche. So, all right, but I try to pick a lot of examples of different types of plush, and then, of course, I've got a couple of big, nice bolos also to share. So, all right, so this first item is an Aurora dog plush. It was 12 inches. Again, I do not do free shipping, so if I say this sold for I took a best offer of $15 on it. That did not include shipping. I source a lot, if you haven't figured that out. I like to buy a lot at one time, and then I try to get it listed as quickly as I can. Right now, I think my store is up to about 7,800 items. I have a building next to our house that's strictly for my eBay inventory. So this sold for best offer, and it is Aurora. This was my surprise find. In fact, this is going to be in the footage we're going to release probably before this video. But this was, I went to an estate sale. Nothing was marked. I think she ended up charging me $1. These were in a Ziploc baggie. They are the McDonald's Happy Meal Halloween McNuggets. It was a set of 6. I can't remember if it's complete. I thought they were in their bags until I got home and realized all the bags were torn open, but the nuggets were complete and in them. So I did list them kind of high, and I ended up selling them for $64.35. This is an Okie Dokie Lovey. If you've watched any of my videos, I buy tons of Loveys. Usually $2 or less, but when I go to consignment sales, I do pay a little bit more just for the convenience of getting a whole lot of stuff at one time. But I did sell this for $13.75. This is another, I've been showing these probably almost every video. We bought a bunch of these at Finders Keepers on their dollar day, and they have been slowly, I've sold the 2 of these, but I did sell this for $11.91. This is a vintage Eden bear. I like the brand Eden. This was just kind of an older bear, not the kind that I really like. That's the terry cloth and waffle weave fabrics, but I did end up selling, I've got a little cheat right here. I did sell it for $15.59. These are some Marvel superhero mashers. You could mix and match all the different arms and limbs and stuff if you wanted to these sets. I picked these up, I want to say either at a yard sale or a consignment sale. I think I paid maybe $8 for the bag of them, and I did sell them for $45.95. This is just another example of just, I bought a huge lot of just a lot of fast food toys, and I ended up seeing these two. They both had their little tags. They're from Burger King Endangered series. Went ahead and listed them and sold them for the $7.31. I bought this at a thrift store. I want to say I paid $3 or $4 for it, maybe $5. I can't remember. But I have always found that if I find things that are Kush, K-O-O-S-H, they just had these little strings all over them, like a little ball. I recently sold a Taz that was a Kush ball. But this was a dart game that had the little Kush things right here, these little strings. And I ended up selling it pretty quickly. I did take a best offer of $35. Sometimes if you see my prices, what I start at, it's just because I pick a point. I'm not gonna go too low. I want to, leave room for sales and offers. So I started it at $49.95 and I took a best offer of $35. But the game is to get it out the door, right? This is a Disney Store Yeti, Abominable Snowman. He's kind of big, 17 inches. I had him in a haul. I don't even want to guess how much I paid, but I did sell him for best offer of $14. This was part of the Strawberry Shortcake set that I bought at a church. I paid $5 for everything. I think I bought 21 figures and garbage cans and lunch boxes, and all of them were in their package. This was a nightlight. The packaging had yellowed, so I did put that in the listing, and the person who bought it, I think has already left me great feedback. And I'm trying, oh yeah, I sold it for $28.75. I need to move this closer. I don't have my glasses on. I think I just showed this in my latest haul. This is a Disney Roly-Poly-Oly Tooth Fairy pillow. Picked it up, yard sale, estate sale, I can't quite remember, but I did take a $14 best offer for it. We bought this probably when we first started sourcing for clothes. Not quite sure where. I think it was at an estate sale. I paid $1 or $2 for it. But it was Virginia Slims, and it had a little tag on there that says it's a woman thing. And so I got it listed, and I ended up taking a best offer of $25 for it. So that was interesting. We're just now starting to get pretty frequent sales for clothes. This is a Gudetama, I believe. It's called the Lazy Egg Plush. I'm not too into that stuff, but I did pick up a couple of these. I think I got one that's still in the bag, but I went ahead and sold this for $11.91. I want to say I picked it up for less than $1, probably 50 cents or something at a yard sale. This is funny. I bought these Pyrex custard cups in a wire rack when we first started at our booth. I wanted to just get some unique stuff. I paid $2 for it, I remember, and thought I was going to put it in the booth till I looked up and realized that these sell for quite well, and it took me a couple of months, but I ended up taking a best offer of $52 for it. I think I bought a bunch of games at this thrift store, and I think this was still part of it also. We paid a couple of dollars for it, and I ended up selling it for $11.91. I think I've got, oh yeah, this next one. This was also there. I think I paid $4 for it. It was a voice, computer voice chess game. And my husband put it together for me and played a couple of rounds with it just to see how it worked. Excellent condition, complete. The battery area was great. And I ended up taking a best offer for $50 for it. I sold it really quickly. I picked these up at a thrift store in our area. I bought a huge pile of Homeschool Curriculum there. I paid $35, I believe, for the whole set, and this was one of the first things that sold, and I took a best offer of $14. We had checked them while we were there to see if there was any writing or anything in it, but I realized when we got back, the first page, student page in this book had been colored, so I did put that in there. So I did go ahead and take a lower best offer on it. My husband picked these up at an estate sale a while back. They were just some older Geo magazines. They've been listed for a while, and all of a sudden they sold for $11.91. The thing I wanted to point out though with magazines is because there's advertising in them, you cannot ship them media mail. But you'll see it on eBay. There's lots and lots of people who have magazines with media mail, which I think sometimes hurts those of us who don't put media mail on it, but not gonna do it. I think I featured this in a haul. We bought a pasta machine by that Ronco, and took all the parts and sold all the parts separately, and this was just the measuring cup that came with the set, and I ended up selling it for the $11.91. My desk is a mess. You guys haven't seen it yet, but this is a haul from all of the online estate sale that I've been talking about a lot. I did another haul this week, and I've got everything just kind of sorted out here so that I can make little lots when I can, but otherwise I'm just kind of picking and choosing the things that enthuse me the most to get listed. But eventually, hopefully this week, I'll get most of this listed. But it's everywhere over here. All right. This is a Gooned Hotshot puppy dog. There was only one listed on eBay, and it was low dollar. But when I looked at the listing, it had damage. So I thought, well, I'll just list mine for $9.95. And I sold it probably in the first week for $9.15. My store stays on a sale. I pretty much have found that, I think personally, that it helps in the algorithm, that you keep your stuff on sale. Not everybody believes that. I do promoted listings also. I just usually run a sale from Monday through Sunday, and then the next week I do it again. But I fluctuate what percentage I put my store on sale. Sometimes I do 6 or 7%. Sometimes I'll do 10 to 12%. I may go ahead and do a larger sale just to maybe try to get some stuff moving, because fourth quarter is right around the corner. This was a surprise. I want to say it was just a baggie of different characters, and this was in there. These were the penguins of Madagascar. They're 2 inches tall, itty bitty, but they were a set, and they're highly sought after. I ended up taking a best offer of $24 just for these 2 little figures. Not everything's like that. You just gotta kind of pay attention and do a little bit of research. I don't spend a whole lot of time on research. I go on, I put in my keywords. If I find something good, once in a while I'll go to Terapeak to see if I can find longer term stuff. But usually I just pick a price and go. This was a Little Me Welcome to the World bear. Just cute, so that's why it got picked up. Baby, that's why it got picked up. But I went ahead, and it's been listed a little while, and I did sell it for $36.75. I gotta show you just how cute that is. This is Thai Pluffies. I talk about them all the time. I buy them all the time. Some are good and some are, you know, better than good. This one, I'm happy when I can sell something for $18.35. This was Dangle's the Monkey Plush from 2002. Now, they came out with different years of the same monkey, but I think the older ones are more sought after. And it didn't even have its little ear tag, and I still got, I think, decent money. I featured this, I think 2 of these were from last week's What Sold. I had 2 of them listed and then bought this lot and thought, well, I'll just go ahead and throw them all together. Went, you know, ended the one on eBay, took new pictures, relisted it, and then a couple days later, I sold the 2 that I had cross-listed to Facebook. Luckily, nothing bad. You know, I hadn't sold this, so I went ahead and ended the eBay listing, pulled the 2, got them shipped out as a Facebook order. I think I made $9 just for the 2. Redid my pictures, relisted, and sold this one almost immediately for $36.75. So if you see these little Lalaloopsies, they're like 3 inches. They're not the big dolls. I don't do well with the big dolls, and I'm sure there's some exceptions, but I will always pick up the little ones. And they've just got these thin. Don't ever mail them in poly bags or bubble mailers. Put them in a box because they are very fragile. They've got very thin arms and legs. All right, this was, I see scrub tops all the time, and until we started looking for clothes, I hadn't really considered them, but I think I was at a church sale and paid like 50 cents. Listed 2 of them, and both of them sold. I don't think I featured the other one, but I did sell this Scooby-Doo one for $8. So if you can get them cheap and they're in good condition, you know, $8 is good when all you've done is pay 50 cents. This is a Stormfly from How to Train Your Dragon. Just, there's others that sell for better, but this was just the Spin Master one. But I did end up selling it for, let's see, best offer of $8. But I probably only paid quarter or 50 cents for it. So I'm trying to show you a large variety now. I even sold something for $3 this week. You know, I take all my pictures, do all of my work before I ever do my research, because I'm just doing bulk listings, and then I do my listings. So sometimes I process stuff that's really not worth a whole lot. I've already done the work. I might as well list it, and I sold it for $3. I still made a profit. This is a NASCAR Cooler can cover. It's by Rusty Wallace. I think we had a big thing of stuff that we bought in an estate sale. I probably paid 50 cents or $1 for it, and I did end up selling it for $8.23. NASCAR is big around here. I live near the Bristol Motor Speedway, so twice a year it's crazy around here. You can't book a hotel for nothing. I always look for NASCAR. This I picked up, I want to say at an estate sale. I did pay $4 for it. It was vintage. I thought it would be something great, especially if it worked, which it was working, but I ended up selling it for $13.75. Brass. I haven't been selling a whole lot of it, but I haven't been listing it either. I've went through a spurt where I did all kinds of listings, and then I still have a tote over here that I need to get to, but I'm more excited about listing my online estate stuff, my vintage plush. So it's just kind of got put on the back burner. I may take some over to my booth just because, but I ended up selling these 10 bells for $30. This is a Kids of America plush. It's just a monkey, 17 inches, cute, and I did sell it for $18.35. It's not a brand most people know about, but I think it's a good quality, so I will pick it up, especially if it's cute and clean. This is just another tie beanie. I've told you I buy them, especially this one doesn't have its ear tag, but a lot of times I buy a bulk of something and it's in there, so I'm going to go ahead and list it. But I did end up selling this tie for $8. This was an Eden rabbit. Has like a gingham type body fabric to it. It did have a little bit of a stain on there, which I did put in my listing. I did wash it, but the stain stayed on there, very faint. And I didn't want to put bleach on it because then it's even worse, I think. I'll let the buyer try to figure out if they can get any more of the stain out. But I ended up selling it for $13.75. This was a cranium Zurich game we picked up somewhere. It was still sealed. Probably paid a couple dollars for it, but I ended up selling it for best offer of $20. These are some Levi's that we picked up. My husband's been buying tons of jeans for like $1.50 and less. And so I've been trying to get them listed. I'm going to try to get a whole bunch worked on tomorrow. But I ended up selling these for $19.95. This is a stainless steel pan. It had on the bottom Flavor Seal by Corey. I think I had picked up several different pieces and then went ahead and split it up. This one didn't even have a lid, but I did sell it for best offer of $20. We've been talking about how we've been buying small appliances and then splitting them up and selling the parts. We picked up a huge Bistro Wolfgang Puck bread machine, and I'm pretty sure I've already sold the bread pan, and now I've sold the 2 paddles that came with it for the $18.35. Now I'm going to show you my bolo for this week, which is kind of funny. Was it sold the same day as my Boyd's Bear calendar, which if you've not seen it yet, go back and look at my previous what sold. I ended up selling them on auction for quite a bit of money. But I also did an auction on this dress. Now, I picked it up somewhere along the way. I think I bought it at an estate sale. Paid a couple of dollars for it, set it on my shelf for a while. And then one day I was looking through, I've got a whole bunch of vintage children's stuff that I need to get to. And I saw the dress and I saw that it was Daisy Kingdom. And I've known that brand. I've bought fabric before that sold for quite a bit. But we were taking the pictures of it and I realized it was, first of all, missing a button right here in the front, and then it had these colored buttons on it. Now, it's a vintage dress, has little frilly stuff on the bottom, but the buttons had bled onto the fabric. So we did take a close-up picture of that. Here, I'll show you. See, the buttons have bled onto the fabric, and then it's missing the bottom one. All of that's in my listing. Did an auction, started it at $19.99. and got an immediate message. I mean, within 10 minutes, would you sell this to me for $100? Now, when you get that, you kind of know that something's up with your listing. So, of course, I actually kind of ignored it. I was going to let it go overnight, and then by the time I got up the next morning, I already had some bids on it, so that went away. And I let the auction run, and I think it was in the hundreds the last hour or so, the $100 range. And then I didn't pay attention when it ended till like 5 minutes after I went and looked, and I was just amazed. I did sell this dress for $242.50. I don't have any more like this, but I do have some other little vintage, I think they call them like Cinderella dresses, that I need to go hunt for and go ahead and get them listed. I had also found some vintage Levi's and Lee infant clothes that I have started on an auction tonight, and we'll see how well those do. It's just not been something I normally sell, but you know, it's fun when you find something that you realize, man, all these years I've not been looking for them, and I should have been. All right, my next couple of ones are just some Facebook orders that I've had. Just wanted to show you the variety. This is just a Fisher Price Little People. A lot of times I list them for $4 or $5 and they sell on Facebook. Somebody needs this particular one to complete a set or put with a vehicle, or, you know, there's collectors out there that want to have every single one of the Little People that's been released. So I sold that for $5. This is just an older Fraggle Rock Gobo figure from 1980. I want to say these were cereal or fast food or something, but I don't remember. But I did sell him for $8. This is a little Thai Beanie Baby. I bought a bunch of them at a Goodwill bins. They all had their tags and I just couldn't leave them there. So I bought probably way over 100 of them. And they have been selling. I did sell this one for $6 on Facebook. And I still have some that I haven't listed. These are VTech Go Smart cars. There's people out there that like these. I sell them all the time. I try to put a couple of them together, but be able to keep them under a pound. So I did sell these two for $9. This is an FAO sheepdog plush from Toys R Us. I did sell it for $13. And then I showed this recently. I bought this at the 100 Mile Yard Sale. I paid $3 for it. It had never been put together. It still had all of its stuff not attached to the can opener. And I did sell this on Facebook Marketplace for $53. Now these last two are my Bonanza sales. I don't get them very often, but you don't have to do any work. They pull straight from eBay, and if it ends on eBay, I mean, if it sells on Bonanza, they do. It's one of the only ones that I know of that ends your listing on eBay. You just got to pay attention to your emails to make sure you realize that something has been ended. My problem is making sure I go check and make sure if it's on Facebook, I take it off of Facebook. But I talked about this in one of my hauls. I couldn't figure out who it was. I asked one of the girl ID groups on Facebook what it was. They told me it was a Darling Dino baby dinosaur. I listed it and ended up selling it on on Bonanza for $14.95. And then Thai Beanies. This was the Mr. and Mrs. Bride and Groom set. I had bought this when I bought the hundreds of Beanie Babies, and I sold them, the two of them, for $8.96. All right, so that's it for my sales for this week. I am going to do another one that will be Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any grand slam that I had this weekend. It's just been, it's just been. But I'm happy. Things are picking up. I'm trying to get a whole bunch listed and keep up with these videos, and it's a roller coaster ride right now. All right, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Send me comments. I do love them, and I try to respond to everyone that I get. All right, thank you.